Hey there, welcome or welcome back to my channel, Diana and the Book Hunt. Today I want to do a video that I saw Lacey from Lacey Booklovers do and also Jess from Peace Love Books, where they're discussing the upcoming Goodreads Choice Awards, and there's still ranking involved that I wanted to participate in. I haven't done any tier ranking videos yet on my channel, so bear with me while I figure out how to share with you the screen that I'm recording on my laptop and then discussing all the books that I have for you today. I'm very excited about this video because obviously as an avid reader and as someone who is following the trends on what comes out every year, books that I really want to pick up by favorite authors of mine, I'm very curious to see whether any of those books will make it on the list and whether any of those books will make it up in the top 10 and potentially even win the whole thing. So what I know about the Goodreads Choice Awards is that previously, up to a year ago, there used to be a set of books that are selected by Goodreads themselves, but there are also write-ins which are added on to the first round of the Goodreads Choice Awards. But unfortunately, as of last year, those write-ins are no longer they're no longer allowed, basically. So there's only 20 books which are announced for the first round, and then once that round is wrapped up, so they get the votes for those 20 books, then they kind of cut it down to 10 books, so there's a top 10, and then eventually after the second round a winner is picked in each respective category. Now, for the sake of this video, because I mostly read romance, I'm going to focus on the romance category only, and I'm going to show you my predictions for the Goodreads Choice Awards. What I've done, let me just first record my screen because I'm going to forget to do that and then this whole video becomes pointless. Let me see. Yes, I am recording. And I also have here a list of the books. I have, I think 33 or 34 books that I have found out have come out this year, and many of the books I've read, some of them I definitely haven't, so I'm just going to go off on how many Goodreads reviews and Goodreads ratings there are, or what the rating is, and also what I've seen or kind of experienced on BookTube and Bookstagram, so whether a book has been wildly popular or not. So I'm going to share my screen with you where I have all of the books here. I think they're arranged in alphabetical reading order, or actually the cover or the title, I have to say. So they're not really arranged according to popularity or anything, but I definitely am going to let you know which ones I've read, which ones I've liked, and which ones I would definitely want to see on the list. I have here the top tier, which is the winner, the top 10, which is the second round, the top 20, which is the first round, and I have here a wish list of books that I would definitely like to see on the list, but I'm not sure whether they're going to make it, solely based off of how popular they were and whether they were picked up or not this year. Now, what I know about the choices that Goodreads makes, what I've heard a lot of times Jess, Lacey, and also other people on BookTube say is that they really focus on traditionally published books, books with illustrated covers, and really authors that they often pick. So really popular authors like Christina Lauren, Emily Henry, maybe I think Katie Robert is on there a lot. We have Colleen Hoover, obviously. So a lot of authors that are wildly popular with the public, and sometimes not even, I think some of their books are not really considered even romances. For example, Beach Read by Emily Henry was not really, it was kind of borderline between women's fiction and romance, and she still got roped into the romance category, so a lot of people weren't really happy with that, but I kind of get it. I mean, whenever you have a work of art that is kind of difficult to categorize, you have to put it somewhere, so I'm not mad about it, to be honest. I've read it. As a romance lover, I've read it, and I do consider there to be a very good romance plot within it, so I'm not mad about it. Anyway, now I'm going to go off with the alphabetical order that my application here has given me, and I'm going to say A Brush with Love. This book, honestly, I don't know much about it. I haven't read it. I did see it pop through here and there on Instagram, but I haven't heard too much about it. If I consult my list here, let me just see. It has a 3.77 rating, 12,000 rating. So I honestly don't think, based off the statistic, that it's going to make it. So I'm not going to mention it. The American Roommate Experiment by Elena Armas, I'm definitely going to put into the top 20 tier, because The Spanish Love Deception, which came out last year, was wildly popular. And also I think that it made it into the top 5, if I'm not mistaken, in the last year awards. So I think it will make it in the top 20, but I honestly don't think it will make it up there in the top 10, because if I'm not mistaken, it didn't have too good reviews. Yeah, it has 3.98. It's not bad, but it's not the best either. There's 36,000 reviews on there, so there are definitely books which performed better this year than this one, so I will put it into the top 20 rank, but I think that's where it will be left off. Now, Booklovers is definitely going on here. I mean, whatever Emily Henry writes, I think it's going to end up on this list. So she's one of the winners. I think last year she won with People We Meet on Vacation. So I definitely think that this is one which will make it in the top 20 and even the top 10 as well. Now, by the book by Jasmine Gilroy, I know that this author is often chosen for the Goodreads Choice Awards. Her books are definitely included. She's a favorite of theirs. I haven't read this book, so I don't know too much about it, to be honest. I know that it has 18,000 ratings and it has 3.76 as a rating, so I honestly don't think it will make the top 10. Correct me if I'm wrong. I may be wrong here, but I don't think it will make it. Now, this book, The Dead Romantics, I am going to put it on here as kind of a surprise entry. I did read it. I gave it 5 stars. I absolutely love this book, and I really hope that it will get the love it deserves. I don't think it will win the thing, but still, I hope that it at least makes it into the top 20, because it was a marvelous book. If I consult my statistics here, what do we have? Where is it? It has 4.09 and 35,000 rankings, so I'm keeping my fingers crossed for this one. I definitely hope that it gets selected. After that, we have Delilah. Was it Delilah Green Doesn't Care? I think the book is called. I think it will get nominated. I mean, we do need some representation within those awards. I hope that they select this book because it's a great sapphic romance. I haven't read it yet. I do have it in my audio library. I hope that I can pick it up sometime soon. But I've heard only good things about it. It has a high rating as well on Goodreads, so I really hope that they're going to pick this one instead of another one that we have on this list as well. So I hope that this one makes it. And then the next one is Dating Dr. Dill. I was really pleasantly surprised by this author and by this romance. I read it, I think, back in April, and I gave it 4 stars. It was definitely a very enjoyable read for me, and I really hope that it does make it into the top 20, but I do think that it has a lower rating than typically popular for this top 20, but let's say that we're hopeful. And then we have Katie Robert with Electric Idol. I know that her previous book within this series was nominated last year, so I think that she'll be nominated this year for her new release as well. I don't think she'll make it into the top 10, but I do think that they'll give her a chance here for the top 20. Now, the next book I've heard very mixed reviews about, Every Summer After. This book I think is going to make it onto the top 20, but I don't know whether it will make the top 10. Looking at the, wow, it does have a very big numbers here in the statistics. It has 4.33 as a rating, and it's been rated 165,000 times. So this one, if we look at statistics, I think will definitely make the top 10, although I have heard very mixed reviews about this one from people that I follow. So very interesting. Now, Good Girl Complex, this one is very controversial for me because I know that the book sucks. At least this is the only thing that I've heard about it ever since I became aware that this book exists. I haven't heard anyone say anything good about this book, but at the same time, I know that Elle Kennedy, who is the author, is very loved in the community, so they may give her a chance to put her on there, but just for the sake of just looking at all the books that I still need to go through, I'm not going to pick this one for my top 20 prediction. Hook, Line, and Sinker. So the thing with Hook, Line, and Sinker and My Killer Vacation, the two releases that Tessa Bailey had this year, is that I know that a lot of people were very disappointed with Hook, Line, and Sinker because it's the follow-up book to It Happened One Summer, which was on the list last year, and it did really well. But this one was not as successful as It Happened One Summer. But I've heard very good things about My Killer Vacation by Tessa Bailey. So I think that if I have to pick one of the two to make it onto the list, because honestly, I don't think both of the books will be on the list, I'm going to pick My Killer Vacation for the tier ranking, and then we'll see whether I'm right or not. And then we have Husband Material by Alexis Hall. This book I've heard mixed reviews about, and I know that Boyfriend Material was on the list in the year when it came out, but I think that Husband Material won't make it, even though Alexis Hall is amazing and he typically has very he gets a lot of love on his releases. I just don't think that this one will make it, to be honest. Now, I Kissed Shara Wheeler. This one is another sapphic romance, and like I mentioned, if I have to pick one of two, Delilah Green Doesn't Care or this one, I pick Delilah Green Doesn't Care, even though I haven't read either of them. I just know, at least I've seen more reviews and more love for this book, so I just am not going to include this one in the top 20. It Starts With Us by Colleen Hoover is a contender. Why is it not participating? It's one of the contenders for the top spots. So this one is definitely going into the top 20. The thing with Colleen Hoover is that she had two releases in this year, in 2022. Reminders of Him and It Starts With Us are both releases that are definitely going to be contenders. The only thing is that I'm curious to see whether they're going to allow for both of them to enter into the competition. Looking at the statistics, Reminders of Him has more entries, so more people have rated it, but this is completely normal because it came out in January, while this one came out just recently in October. So it's completely normal that this one doesn't have enough ratings, or it has enough ratings. There's over 100,000 ratings, I think, but this one is just more popular because it has been read more times. But I'm just going to put both of them on here because I think that they may give her a chance to have both of them on the list. The next one is One Italian Summer by Rebecca Searle. I actually read this one. I did like it, but I don't think it's a romance, so I don't think that many people will vote for it, but I do think that it will be on the list in the top 20. Love and Other Disasters. I have a physical copy of this one actually, and I do think that it's going to be an amazing read. but I'm not sure whether it will make it onto the list because it's not wildly popular if I look at the statistics. So I'm just going to leave it off at the moment. So Love on the Brain is definitely going to make it onto the top 20 because Ali Hazelwood has just gone through the roof when it comes to the romance community. Last year with the Love Hypothesis, it was actually on the number 2 spot in the Choice Awards, and actually it just lost by a couple of hundred votes. So I think that Love on the Brain is definitely going to be in the top 20, even in the top 10 if you ask me. I absolutely enjoyed the book, so I really hope that it gets on there. I wouldn't even be surprised, or I would also be delighted, to be honest, if she wins, because I do want to see a new face as the winner instead of Colleen or Emily Henry, because they've obviously had the chance to win this before. So I would hope that one of the new kids on the block can win this. But anyway, definitely going to make the top 20. Now, Nora Goes Off Script. This one I have not seen on BookTube or Bookstagram a lot, but I do see it a lot on Goodreads, if that makes sense. So I'm really not sure. I'm just going to leave it for now. Because I have a couple of other entries that I definitely think are going to make it on. So let's just see how that goes. Abby Jimenez is definitely going to be on here. I know that her previous books have been on the list, so I definitely think that this one will make it. And I have to say that this is one of my top reads for the year, so I really hope that it will make it into the top 10 because it definitely deserves more love. It's an amazing book, and yeah, I just have all positive things to say about it, and I really hope, actually, if I have to pick a winner for myself, I'm definitely going to pick this book because it was one of my favorites this year. So yeah, definitely top 20 or top 10 material. Now, Praise by Sarah Kate, I have seen it blown up. The whole series is blown up on BookTube, so I wouldn't be surprised to see it in the top 20. And then The Roughest Draft. This book was also a favorite of mine. I gave it 5 stars, even though it doesn't have a very high rating on Goodreads. Let me just see. I think it was 3.66, and actually the criteria is to have 3.5 or higher. So this one technically should make it. And it also has it has 27,000 reviews. I'm not sure, so this one is kind of a question mark, to be honest, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's on the list. Running Wild by K.A. Tucker. Now, this one, I'll put it in the wish list category because I really hope that it makes it, but I wouldn't be surprised to not see it on the list because I think it has only 13,000 ratings, even though it has a high rating. It has a 4.24 on Goodreads. It just isn't too popular, but I absolutely love this series, so I'm just hopeful here that it makes it. Christina Lauren, anything that they release will be on there. I'm absolutely sure about it. Something Wilder is their latest release. I didn't love it as much as other books by these authors, but yeah, let's see how that will go. The Summer Proposal is one of my wish list entries, but it's not going to make it on there. I believe this is a book by Vi Keeland. I absolutely loved it, but I don't think it will make it. Terms and Conditions by Lauren Asher. I'm going to put it on here, but let's see, there's only, how many books do we have? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. Ooh, so there's only 3 spots left. Let's see. So Terms and Conditions I'm going to put on here as top 20 because I know that it was wildly popular, at least the fine print was wildly popular, and this is the second book within that series, so I think it will make it. The Bodyguard by Catherine Center will definitely make it on here. I've heard only good things about it. It has a high rating. It has a lot of entries, so I definitely think it will make it. Beth O'Leary. I think she may make it, but I don't think she will progress from that point on because it has a lower rating than the other books. And I don't know, which one should I take off? I'm already thinking about which one I should take off because I see a couple of books that will definitely be on there. So I'm going to put it on here, and this one will definitely make it. Things We Never Got Over blew through the roof on BookTube, Book Talk, Bookstagram, everywhere. So I think this will definitely make it. So now we have 20 books, but I still have 3 books. This one is a wishlist book. You Made a Fool of Death with Your Beauty is one which I really hope we'll see in the list. It has only 16,000 ratings, unfortunately, so I don't think it has a fair chance, but yeah, I'm hopeful here because I gave it 4.5 stars. I think it's a wonderful read. It's a very unexpected read, and I'm not sure whether many people know that it's a romance, but it is a romance. So yeah, I'm hopeful here. Weather Girl is one which I also really enjoyed. I think I gave it about 4 stars, and it has great representation within the book. Rachel Lynn Solomon is an author who has been recognized by Goodreads on previous occasions, so I think she may make it. But looking at, okay, so let's put terms and conditions here and the roughest draft as well, because yeah, I think Weather Girl will be on there, and I think that Twisted Hate by Anna Huang. Anna Huang actually has another release, which is Twisted Lies, the 4th book within the series, which also came out this year, but I think that this one is more popular, so I think that this one will make it onto the top 20. These books are books that I don't think will make it. These are ones that are on my wish list, but I'm not sure whether they will make it in the top 20. I'm sorry about the lighting, but it's getting dark here, so I just have my ring light giving me light so you can see me. Anyway, let's progress on to the top 10. Emily Henry, 100% for sure. Another sure contender is Colleen Hoover, and it's really a matter of whether they're going to allow both books to be on the list. If both books are on the list, both of them will progress onto the top 10. I'm sure about that because a lot of people loved both of the books. Love on the Brain, and I think, let me see, Part of Your World. Part of Your World has 59, almost 60,000 ratings, and then it has 4.4. I'm going to put it on here. I think it will make it. Things We Never Got Over will definitely make it in the top 10, as well as The Bodyguard. And then I'm hoping, let's see what Weather Girl looks like. Weather Girl has 26,000. Nah, it's not going to make it. What about Twisted Hate? Twisted Hate has a lot of ratings, and it has a high rating as well. I'm going to go with Twisted Hate here, and then I'm going to, yeah, I think this one will make it to 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. We have one more. Let me see something wilder. 45,000. Nah, this one is not gonna make it. I'm still looking through which one might make it. Let's go with One Italian Summer here, and then the rest will just be left in the top 20 category. I hope that I'm right about these books, but if I'm not, we'll just wait and see. Now, when it comes to the winner, I'm very split about what will happen, because Booklovers was so hyped up, but I know that a lot of people were disappointed when they compare it to Beach Read and People We Meet on Vacation. So I think it has a fair shot of becoming the winner, but I don't think it will take the lead spot. When it comes to It Starts With Us and Reminders of Him, I think one of those two can definitely be the winner. Colleen Hoover is very, very popular, but when it comes to It Starts With Us, I think that many people will be disappointed by how the story progressed, and maybe some of them will think that it was an unnecessary book, like an extended epilogue of sorts. So if I have to pick one of the two books that will win this by Colleen Hoover, I think it will be Reminders of Him. And then we have Love on the Brain. If we see the trend with last year, The Love Hypothesis being on the second spot and almost grabbing the full prize, and the fact that she also released a couple of novellas which were wildly popular this year, I think she has a fair shot as well. So when it comes to Love on the Brain, Reminders of Him, and Booklovers, I think any of these three might win. But we also have Things We Never Got Over, which is a book that has blown up so much that I honestly think it has a fair shot of grabbing the prize as well. So I'm very conflicted when it comes to who is going to be the winner. Like I mentioned before, if you ask me if I have to pick a winner for myself, I'm going to go with Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. This is probably my favorite read of the year so far. So I think that this one is definitely my top favorite. Looking at all the books that I've read Booklovers, I gave it 4 stars, 3.5, 4 stars. I wasn't a fan. It Starts With Us was a 5-star read for me. Reminders of Him, I believe 4.5 or 4.5 stars. Love on the Brain, I gave 4.5 to 5 stars. So again, a favorite. 5 stars for Part of Your World, 5 stars for Things We Never Got Over. I didn't read Catherine Santer's The Bodyguard yet, but I have it on my TBR. I hope that I'm going to love it as much as all the people that I've heard talking good things about it. Twisted Hate, I loved. I gave it 4.5 or 5 stars, I believe. It was my favorite out of the books that I read by Anna Huang. It definitely deserves the love that it's gotten. Every Summer After, I haven't read yet. And then One Italian Summer, I gave 3.5 stars, and I don't think it's a romance, honestly. So I hope that this one doesn't win. I'm just going to pick one. Logically speaking, it should be Reminders of Him, because if I take a look at how many ratings it has over 500,000 ratings, 561,000 ratings, and it has 4.51 as a rating on Goodreads. So if we speak logically about statistics and how much people have talked about this book, this one should be the winner. But like I mentioned, Booklovers, Love on the Brain, and Things We Never Got Over may give it a run for its money. So I hope that this has been a fun video for you to watch that I did. I know that Lacey and Jess also did this video. I'm going to link their videos respectively down below. And I can't wait to see whether my predictions were correct, whether their predictions were correct as well, because I believe that Lacey said It Starts With Us will win, and I think that maybe also Jess said the same, if I'm not mistaken, but I may be mistaken here. But let's see whether any of us were right, and let's see if Goodreads will give a fair shot to some of the newcomers on the list as well. Yeah, I hope to see you very soon in the next one. I have some recommendation videos planned that I'll put up very soon, and please let me know what your favorites of the year were, whether you think that any of the books that I mentioned will be on or off of the list. And yeah, again, I hope to see you very soon in the next one. Have a wonderful, marvelous day. Happy reading. Take care, and bye-bye.